Hey everyone, I hope that you guys are doing amazing wherever you are. Another video by Boom Shaka, and this one is actually on INFJs. So I actually posted in a group about the fact that I'm doing these videos on INFJs, and I've been really enjoying them, enjoying the feedback, enjoying doing the videos. I actually find that I'm learning a lot more about myself by doing these videos on myself, right? Which is always the case. So I got a message from this lady, amazing message, really, really grateful that there are people out there who actually take the time to write these long, amazing messages. I really wanted to share it with you guys and then talk a little bit about it. So this is what the message says. I used to focus only on INFJs. I had an entire website and still have several books. Honestly, and I say this as an INFJ myself, INFJs are the worst. I had to stop because I couldn't handle the feedback. I was called narcissistic, egotistical, demented, selfish, bipolar, and one person even told me I was autistic. I shifted to helping other personalities and I don't deal with nearly as many attacks. I don't understand what it is about the personality type. Maybe because our shadow self is pretty rough, or because we tend towards self-righteousness, but INFJs can be mean. I still have one course actually focused on the shadow self, and all my books are still out, but I refuse to read any of the reviews anymore. And that's the comment. And I thought it was so poignant that, she talks about the fact that INFJs can be mean. And it's such a weird thing. Again, as I've said, we're contradictions, right? We're massive contradictions. So I have this side to myself which is really nice, too nice sometimes, I tell myself. And so people can take advantage of me, which is great because it happens all the time. And I'm used to it, so I know how to kind of go about it so I don't get taken advantage of. But because I'm so afraid, because I always got taken advantage of, that I kind of go into this other extreme where I'm extremely mean. I have these moments where I don't really care. If you don't care about what I'm talking about, then go F yourself. And there are words that I'll use, and I'll have these conversations where I'm thinking to myself, did I really need to be that harsh? Did I need to really break that person apart? Did I need to tell them all of these things? Did I need to, just be so honest? Because sometimes I feel like, is it really necessary? Because most people don't care, most people don't want to hear it, most people are dealing with so much stuff that, it's hard enough getting through the day for them to actually push them down like that or tell them all this stuff, which is actually true because we have this intuition, but is it really necessary to do that to people? I know sometimes when I'm in a position where I can give feedback, a lot of times I'll choose not to give feedback because it's just not useful. I don't want to bring that person down. I don't want to push them down. I don't want to make them realize that they're not perfect. It's so, for me, from my end, I look at it and I'm thinking to myself, I'm basically hitting a puppy right now, or I'm kicking a puppy, or I'm, doing something to a person that's already down. Like, I don't want to do that. We're already, all of us, dealing with so much stuff. The vagaries, the things about life, general life. It's so hard already, right? So why do that to someone else? Especially if we have the power to really say some stuff that can completely annihilate people. Because we see you as you are, and we see your shadows, and we see all your essence, and our intuition is so powerful. I can really say something that's gonna cut you off at the knees. But why do I have to do that? Why should I do that? And so I've been trying really hard not to be that person. And so when I got this message from this lady, who I obviously admire because she did a lot of work in INFJs and she obviously knows a lot about us and herself. The fact that people call her all these names, and INFJs do that, I don't know why we do that. I don't know what gives us the right to call people all these names when we ourselves are not perfect. Do we think that we are perfect, or do we have this notion that we know so much, so we are, because we're so intuitive that we are allowed to say all these things to people? What causes us to believe that we have that right? No one has that right. No one has a right to call anyone else names. If you guys are an INFJ listening to this, and if you've done that in the past, stop doing that. It's not your right. You don't have the right to say anything to anyone else. You don't have the right to call anyone else names. If you're doing that in your head, keep it in your head. Don't put it outside into the universe, because you cannot take those words back, and those words are going to stay with that person forever. Because as you guys know, and we are filled with that contradiction, negative feedback hurts more than positive feedback. You can tell them all the nice things on this planet, but if you tell them one negative thing about them, it's going to stick with them more than anything else. Unless that person comes to you and asks you, can you give me some feedback on what I'm doing right now? Unless they're asking for feedback, do not give them feedback. Another thing that she says that I found really interesting was the fact that she says our shadow self is really rough. And I absolutely agree with that. Because we spend so much time analyzing ourselves deep within that, basement style thing. Like we're always going in deep and checking things out. Like, what's going on in there? Why do I feel this way? Always asking ourselves questions, always going in deep, analyzing and all that stuff. We have a lot of stuff that comes up, and we have a lot of shadow stuff that we're always constantly dealing with. Most people have shadows, right? But what they're doing is that they're ignoring their shadows and not dealing with it, or they're unaware of the fact that they even have shadows, right? So the shadows are affecting us because they always affect us, but they don't care. They don't notice it, right? Because we're so intuitive and we're always analyzing ourselves, we notice our shadows, and we're always dealing with our shadow work. So we get triggered all the time. And if we haven't integrated those shadows within ourselves, which takes a lot of work and a lot of self-love, which INFJs are lacking, if we haven't done that, then everything will trigger us. And we're going to go off to all of these tangents. We're going to start, doing all these things where we lash out at people who we think are attacking us. People are not attacking us, People are mired deep into their own shit. They don't have time to attack you. If they're attacking you, it's not they're attacking you, they're attacking themselves, I learned that a while back, and now when people actually say things to me, it doesn't come across to me as a negative feedback, because I know they're saying something to themselves. They're not talking to me, they're talking to themselves, or talking about themselves. That's what people do, we're so narcissistic. And not even just INFJs, but everyone, because we think that the world revolves around us, whereas it doesn't. But our thoughts, our processes, all of our stuff revolves around us. And so when we comment on someone else's stuff, we're not commenting on them, we're commenting on ourselves. So once I realized that fact, I think myself, all this negative feedback is just all more data about this person. And if I want to be around this person, even despite all the contradictions, all of the feedback, then I'll be around them. If I use that feedback as a sign that, I don't really want to be friends with this person, then I'll step away, do the door slam or whatever it might be, right? The door slam itself is such a harsh thing to do, right? I mean, why? Why do we do this? Like, why can't we just have a conversation with the person and say, I'm sorry, I don't think we jive well with each other. Your energy is really not the way I want to deal with people. I don't like the way I feel around you. I'm sorry, we're not going to be friends anymore. That's all. You just have to say that. But what we do is we just slam the door in that person's face. They have no idea what's going on. They haven't heard from us in days or months or years and all that stuff. And all of a sudden, they realize that, we're not friends anymore. Why do we do that? It's so immature. And I do that all the time. And now I actually started kind of going back and saying to the person, I'm sorry, I just felt uncomfortable being around you. And so I'm sorry, we're not friends anymore. I'm sorry I did it this way. And I'm trying not to do that anymore. If I don't like someone, I actually say that right out. I don't think this relationship's working out. Thank you. I don't think your energy jives with mine. Thank you for being a friend of mine until now. But I'm sorry, I have to walk away, right? And that's what I try to say nowadays. It's hard. It's harder. It's easier to just walk away, right? It's easier to just be like, that person's not my friend anymore. Blah, blah, blah. No, actually say something to that person. Be a mature adult about it, Tell them why, and then walk away. You don't have to explain yourself. No. That's not what I'm saying. We're all adults here, and if I don't want to be friends with you anymore, that's it. I don't want to be friends with you anymore. But I should at least tell you, this is going on, and not let you find out 3 months later when I haven't talked to you in 3 months. Right? The last thing that she says is that we tend towards self-righteousness, and I thought it was really brilliantly put. I love that word. I'm actually going to really use that and look at myself when I'm going through about my day. Obviously, I think it's because of the fact that we're intuitive and we know so much about everyone. We feel like, we're better than them because we know what their negative aspects are. Because you're walking around the world and you meet someone and we instantaneously see what they are in their essence, negative, positive, everything, right? And so we see all of it and we think to ourselves, you know what? They're like that. I'm not like that. I'm so cool, blah, blah, blah. I'm better than them. Whereas I think we're ignoring the fact that we have so many more flaws because we are so much more aware of ourselves. We know all of our flaws. I know all of the horrible ways or good ways that I am a human being. And I think so we really need to be careful to compare, not to compare anymore. Please don't compare yourself to anyone because everyone's on a different path, and perhaps it's a new soul they're dealing with, and so they're just new, they're babies. How dare you judge them? You don't have the right to judge anyone. And if you are going to judge them, then keep it to yourself. Don't bring it out into the world, right? And also, you don't know what they're dealing with. They might be going through a really hard divorce right now, or they might be going through some kind of sexual violence, and you have no idea what their life is all about, right? And so you don't see, because you don't know what they're really going through. You know that they're going through something, but you don't know exactly what it is. And so how dare you make a judgment about them, right? Stop being so self-righteous. That's definitely another lesson that I've learned from this amazing woman, is that I need to stop being so self-righteous. If someone isn't up to my standard, because we have such high standards, it is not their responsibility to get up to my standard. My standard is my own standard. And the standard I should apply to only myself, not to anyone else. Because everyone else is just doing their own thing, and I don't have the right to apply my standard to them, right? Maybe they don't want to live the best version of their life. Maybe they're happy where they are. Why do I have to care? Why do I have to bring my own shadows into it? Why do I have to bring my own stuff into it? If I want to live a really awesome life, and I want to live in that manner, then fine, live in that manner. But don't bring other people into it. Don't let other people feel like they're not living the best version of themselves because you are doing all this stuff. Don't make them feel that way. Live your own life. If people want to watch you and emulate you, that's fine. But do not preach to other people how they should live their life. Stop being so self-righteous. Stop being so mean, and stop using other people's shadows to put them down. Hope this makes sense to you guys. Let me know what you guys think about it. Message me or comment, whatever you guys want, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. If you guys want to join my team, you can join at patreon.com/boomshika. Bye for now.